The clock restarts again. It's a new beginning, a fresh start. The magical event which makes everyone excited again. Everything is reset. This is a wipe. Every single one of us, from beginners to veterans, starts equally. You log in and you see your pristine, untouched stash. A new journey starts with this moment. But how can you prepare for this? In this video, I will show you some things that will help you get ready for the next wipe. Depending on when you're watching this, some things might be different when it was at the time of making this video in late 2021. I sectioned the topics that I want to talk about into categories and made chapters for them, so if you're looking for something specifically, you can jump there. If you have any questions about any of these subjects, feel free to ask me during my live streams, on my Discord, in the comments, or in private. Every link is in the description down below. Let's begin. The topics that we will cover could apply for all types of players, whether this will be your first or second wipe, or if you're a veteran with multiple kappas under your belt. I tried to put these subjects in the order from beginner to veteran, but they overlap, so even if you're a hardcore no-lifer like me, you can find useful information in the earlier chapters too. Let's start with game plan. Or in other words, your goal for the wipe. Only you can tell what you aim to do in the upcoming wipe. Would you like to push your limits and get kappa, even if it means a huge grind like it did this wipe? Or you just want to have some casual fun with your friends and not worry about your level that much? Either way, you will have a set goal which drives you through this journey. If you want to have fun, that is perfectly fine and you don't have to grind if you don't want to. However, if you would like to take the game even a bit more seriously and have a set goal of reaching something, like finishing all your quests, reaching a certain level, etc., something you want to achieve, and you want to prepare for it, here is the perfect opportunity. The upcoming topics will give you more details, but the general idea is to think ahead and prepare accordingly. Identify the things that you would like to improve the next wipe and start working on them now. For example, after 1000 hours of gameplay, I still suck at PvP because a lot of the times I can't find my rhythm in a raid and I die to someone without being able to shoot back at them. If you are new to the game or you don't have an Edge of Darkness edition, with the immediate tier 4 stash perk, you will definitely struggle with space and stash management at some point. This is the time to look up what certain items and other requirements you need to upgrade your stash and get some cases to store your items more efficiently. For example, this is what you need for the stash tier 2. This way, you will know what items you can keep and you can sell right at the start of the wipe. This leads us to the next topic: what items to keep. A huge amount of the quests in the game requires a certain item to be turned in. A high percentage of these items needs to be found in a raid, meaning that you cannot buy them from the traders or the flea market, and you shouldn't craft from these or upgrade the hideout until you turn them in for a given quest. Knowing what items to keep are key for everything: stash management, questing, making money, and upgrading the hideout. Next up, the hideout. The hideout is a great place that can help you get a lot of items, boost skills, craft items for certain quests, etc. Basically, the faster you upgrade it, the more advantage you will have overall. With the last wipe, now almost all of the first tier upgrades needs items that you must find in your raids, since there's no way to buy them from the traders and you don't have access to the flea market early on. I have spent like 10 to 20 raids, both as a scav and PMC, trying to find one piece of toilet paper this wipe to upgrade the lavatory to tier 1. Or one of the most important items early on is the disposable syringe for the med station tier 1. This leads us to the next topic: quests. For example, the very first quest on Therapist that is available on level 1 is called Shortage, where you have to find or craft 3 salivas, meaning you can craft them in the hideout, but for that you will need the med station tier 1. The more times you play the game, the more you will learn the quests. This obviously will mean that you will learn more and more quests, and you will know right off the bat what items to keep, what items to sell, basically all of the previous topics. But BSG keeps changing quests, hideout upgrades, and also put in more and more quests into the game. So no matter how many hours you have in the game, you will have to keep up with the changes so you wouldn't make that many mistakes. Mistakes are a great way to learn what to keep for the next time. I mentioned earlier that I had problems finding a toilet paper and a syringe. Our next topic is that you need to learn where to find certain items, especially early on. For example, the syringe is a medical item, so obviously it can be found in medical buildings, med bags, medical supply crates, etc. all over Tarkov. A great place to find syringes is Reserve. For example, in the White Bishop building on both floors there are multiple unlocked rooms for loose med spawns, or in the bunkers there is a fixed large medical crate, etc. You should check them on both BMC and scav runs. But most new players usually go to customs first, so I recommend you learn where are the fixed med spawns on customs. For example, here is a picture with all the med spawns on customs. The picture is taken from Map Genie. This leads into our next topic. Learn the maps. When you start out in Tarkov, you must learn the maps in the game. The quests take you to every map except for labs, and when you start out on a new map, it can be frustrating not knowing where to expect threats from, or where to find your objectives or your exit. At this later stage of the wipe, when you are not necessarily competing for the same things as everyone else, there is more room to explore. You might not be interested in questing in the first place, and you can just wander into every corner of every building of every map. When learning a new map, I always try to learn it the following way. First, you learn the general layout of the map, including main points of interests such as dorms on customs. Secondly, the spawns, to know where you can expect danger from right at the start. Thirdly, the extracts, to know which way you should go. Then where to find loot. And finally, all the important doors, to know which keys are good. I recommend you to use offline mode in order to explore the maps before playing them risk-free. And use Map Genie or the maps from the wiki or any other source on your second monitor, phone, etc. whilst playing to be able to guide yourself through the maps. When you learn the basics of a map, it's time to get into the details. There are hidden stashes on customs, woods, interchange and shoreline. Learn them in order to discover a wider pool of items, as they can spawn almost any item in the game. Also, they are one of the best ways to make money in Tarkov. This leads us into our next topic. Learn how to make money. It is crucial to know how to get money, because at some point you will run out of money even if you have a full stash of items which you don't necessarily want to sell. The stash runs are a great way, collecting various random items and then selling them to the traders or to the flea market. Try to figure out what items are highly needed at the given stage of a wipe and sell them to make a lot of money. Crafting certain items and selling them is also a great way of revenue. Scav runs are a great and effective way of making money too, especially with the scav karma system. I already made 2 videos about this topic. If you're interested in detail, the links will be in the description down below. The newly added guns to the game are always highly sought items, therefore they can get very expensive during the early days of a wipe. But towards the ending days, these guns are at a normalized price too, so you should try them all as well. The same thing is true for the newly added content. The devs put more and more content into the game, for example, new quests for higher levels or the newly added daily and weekly tasks. If you made it to a high level and stopped at some point during the middle of the wipe, but you would like to do something still as you came back before a wipe, you might find a few new quests. Try to complete them, and the next wipe they will be familiar as you race for Kappa. And finally, you should practice PvP. There's no such thing as enough practice when it comes to PvP. Every situation is unique. The more time you put into fighting other players, the easier it will be to conquer even the most highly geared players. A great way is to load into factory with a simple gun and try to fight the player or players spawning next to you. It doesn't matter if you die, since you didn't risk much to begin with. Factory is the best to do this at, as the map is small and the raids are fast, but obviously the better you get, you should go and expand your limits both map and gear wise too. I hope this video was useful and you learned something from it. If you did, and you would like to watch more videos about Escape from Tarkov or any of the other games that I play, I highly appreciate if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, and let me know in the comments what aspect of the game you will be practicing for the next wipe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask under the video, during my live streams, social media, or on my Discord server. I am more than happy to help you out. All my links are in the description down below. Thank you for watching. I will see you in Tarkov.
You see him?
Let's go!
Nice! Fuck yes.
Yes.
You got it?
Yeah.